pick your defense, you go talk to Charlie Strong or something, he's going to refer to these guys as the birds, okay? For us, the way I refer to these guys is when we start watching film, there's Rover, Willie, Mike, Strike, and Bandit, okay? So when we put the film on, if I say the Rover or whatever, they understand who we're talking about, okay? And this is our base alignment. And I'll cover any formation you want me to draw up or anything, but our basic stack in front, up front wise, we're 4-0 with forwards. They're in three-point stance. We like those guys, the two-hand guys, being three-point stance. They're outside, foot's back. Okay? So we try to get them to where they can do it left and right-hand stance. Now, if we got a kid who can't do that, we'll tell them just go comfortable. You know, because we want the kid to be comfortable. This guy, I don't care. Whatever he wants to do, except for a four-point stance. Okay? The linebackers, these three stack guys, their alignment are heels at 4, stacked right behind those guys. Okay? Now, as I'm going through this, guys, any questions, ask, write them down, and jot them, so we'll get right back on it. But the way we tag these guys is he's stacked behind, so we call it a 40 technique. We just added 0 to their technique. So it's a 40, it's double 0, and a 40. Okay? Heels at 4, you know, good linebacker stance. They're going to, I'll get into the keys in a minute. These alignments, the Rover and the Bandit are our outside guys, are 4 by 4. Okay, 4 yards outside, 4 yards off the ball, Dan man line of scrimmage. So with the tight end, he's still going to be 4 by 4 off that tight end. He doesn't take his alignment off the tackle. Okay, it's 4 by 4 off the end man on the line of scrimmage. So if you turn on the film and you're looking at your kids from the sidelines, all 5 of those guys should be in a straight line. Okay? And you'll see our kids, and you're going to see some good stuff, and you're going to see some crap, because this is the first year we ran it with the guys in Cairo, so they did make mistakes. Corners alignments, we play them inside leverage. Okay, so if coach was the receiver and the ball's in there, I'm going to be inside leverage. I'm going to put my foot on his inside foot. I'm going to be caught to the sidelines with my rear end just to the sidelines, looking through the end man on the line of scrimmage to the quarterback, and I'm reading the quarterback on or off the ball. Depth is 5 to 7 yards, okay, because we will play with our coverages a little bit. So we tell those kids, you make the call, it's 5 to 7. You know, be smart on situation stuff. If it's 3rd and 12, we don't want you at 5 yards, because you're just defeating, you're making your job harder, okay? So that's their alignment. Free safety's alignment, if we're in the middle of the field, he splits the number 1 receivers. Okay, at 8 yards off the ball. He's no deeper than 10, no closer than 8. And he splits the number 1 receivers. Now, if you're on the hash mark, of course he's in the middle of the field, so we don't want him any farther than the C gap. So if the field was right here, okay, if that's the field, then his alignment is probably going to look like that. Okay, because we want him splitting the number 1 receivers, okay? But he's not going to get outside that C gap, or the outside shoulder of the tackle. Talk a little louder? Okay. All right. So his alignment's going to be based on where you're out on the field, but he's always going to split number 1 receivers. Okay, so if you got, you know, a twin set like this, okay, number 1 receivers are there, but he never gets outside that gap, so he adjusts based on that formation. Okay? All right. Okay, talk a little bit about the reads real quick, and then I'll get into some other stuff or that as we go through. If you have any questions on the read, guys, these guys up front, and we run this defense when I ran it. And come on in, coach. We just really covered the stands real quick. So, hey, coach,
You're not in my office.
no, we came in here so we had a blow up. So,
You couldn't get one, huh?
no, I just
Obviously, you
because
don't
they're gonna need it at 1:30. So I didn't want to make it a big deal, you know. When we run this down at Cairo, we have them moving probably about 65% of the time. Now, when I was in North Carolina, it was probably closer to 90% of the time. But we had some form of stunt, blitz, or some kind of movement with those up front guys. Okay, now down at Cairo, we read these guys sometimes, and they're hat readers. Okay, they're going to step in the outside foot so they can't get reached easy. They're going to hat read when we don't have a stunt. Now, if we have a stunt, just real quickly, you know, if we had a slant call, their aiming point is the hip of the next down lineman. So their aiming points are going to be that right there. Okay? If we're slant's going to the strength. okay? Angling would be away. If we're angling, he doesn't have a tight end, but he's going to the hip of where that tight end would be, okay? And they're not dip, rip, and go like a 4-3 defense. You know, some 4-3 coaches, you know, if this is the guy I'm on, they'd say cross that foot over, dip, rip, and try to get upfield. But we don't do that because we don't want to get washed. Okay, well, I feel this. If I cross over, once I've done that, that lineman can wash me real easily, and I don't like that. So if I'm slanting, the tight end's over here, strength's here, and I'm going to slant, I'm stepping with that foot that I'm going. And then I'm coming up, and I'm penetrating to the heels of the line, to the heels of the offensive line. We want to get a yard deep in the backfield, find the ball, and then go. Okay? Now, if you talk to Charlie Strong, you talk to Dean Hood, or those guys at Wake Forest, or the guys that run it at the college level, and they're basing, okay, they're stepping, they step laterally, okay, and they hat read. When we base, we still step our kids upfield. We never take a lateral step. So if we're just playing our stack, and I'm that defensive end, and this is the tackle, my first step is upfield. And then based where his hat goes, if he closes, then I'm squeezing for veer or trap. If he's trying to hook me, I'm fighting him. You know, if you turn on, I've got a little bit of Wake Forest tape, and you'll see those guys from the end zone when they're in their base front, they step like that. Okay? That's where we kind of differ, and that's your judgment call. Okay? At this level in high school, my advice is don't lateral step. Okay? Unless you just got somebody that is a D1 defensive end. He could probably do it, but I would not suggest that. That's up to you. Okay? That's basically it for those three. Okay? These guys, the three interior linebackers, they read this just like you would teach somebody in a 4-3 defense. Okay? Their reads don't change. It's just like a 4-3. They're reading through their gap, okay, to the fullback. Okay? That's who they're reading. If it's split back, they read the back to them. Okay? So if it was split back, and I don't want to race it, but if it was split back or offset, then the Willie would be reading that guy. Mike and Strike would be reading the tailback. Okay, if it's split the other way, then he reads that. Those two read the tailback. Okay, you understand that? Okay. Now, we have 4 different reads for those guys. Our first read, okay, is a tight read. Okay, and that's pull back to the A gap. Okay, their first step, okay, all three of these guys' first step is off where he's going. Okay, so they're in their linebacker stance. I'm here, good linebacker stance, that fullback steps, and I should see every one of those guys step. We teach them to step shuffle. Heels at 4, fullback steps to my right, step shuffle. By the time I hit that shuffle, I should see the picture of the backfield, and I should be able to know where the ball's going then. Okay? So, we've got 4 reads. First one's tight flow. So it's anything A gap, both A or weak. Okay, that's tight flow. They get tight flow, they're going. Okay? The next one is fast flow. Okay? Fast flow is to the B gap. Either side. Okay? Same thing. Step shuffle. As soon as they take that shuffle, see the picture, find the ball, go. Okay? Third one, quick flow. Okay? You're out here. It's toss sweep. Boom. Okay? Toss sweep. Go. Alright? It's quick, you go. The last one, okay, we call it OS, or oh shit. Okay, that's your counter read. Okay? So they get pulled back here, he goes there, okay? You should hear all 3 of these kids say, oh shit. That's what we tell them to say. You get that? Oh shit, because that signifies you got a counter, so that back should be right here. Oh shit, boom. Now my eyeballs look to see who's coming from the line to come get them. Okay, because if they're running counter trade, they're going to bring these 2 guys down. Probably going to combo, try to get here, bring him to your mic, wrap the guard, kick the guard, and try to bring that tackle for your Willie. Okay, so you want to have that oh shit read too. Okay, that's their reads. Okay, now with the bandits and rovers, we do it just a little bit differently. Okay. And I'll just put up these guys right here. What we teach these guys is they're reading through the end man on the line of scrimmage to the quarterback. Okay? So he's actually going to read through that tight end. That line's not drawing the best, but he's going to read through the end man on the line of scrimmage to quarterback on the ball or off the ball. Okay? Now we switched this up in the spring. We just started reading these guys this way this spring. It worked a lot better for us. Last year we were keying them on the fullback just like the other 3 interior guys. This seemed to work better for us this spring. Okay, so I'm sitting here, their stance for, again, 4x4. My inside foot is up. I'm going toe to instep relationship. Okay, if I'm the rover, okay, and that's the tackle, I'm looking through the tackle to coach because he's my quarterback and I'm in a linebacker stance, so just have outside foot back. Okay, that quarterback opens up away from me. Okay, I'm going to step, buzz my feet, and I'm going to check for boot, counter, reverse. Okay, so if the quarterback opens this way, okay, his feet are here, like that, he'll step up, he'll buzz his feet, and then he's, what we call it is boot, counter, reverse. We tell him BCR. You got BCR, boot, counter, reverse. Okay? He doesn't get boot, counter, reverse, then he's your cutback player, and that's where this defense becomes a hell of a lot more aggressive than a 4-3, because you know in a 4-3, you have to play that guy's your cutback. Okay? He's got a green light. They do that, wherever he can find an avenue to go get the ball, he goes. And once he doesn't have boot, counter, reverse, now he becomes your cutback player. Okay? He becomes your cutback player. All right? The only time that changes is when it's option, and I'll give them option responsibility as soon as I get through their base reads. Okay? So these guys are your cutback players. So if quarterback opens here, or if he's off the ball and it's an ISO like that, then he's going to boot, counter, reverse, cutback. Okay? Boot, counter, reverse, cutback. That's his rules when the flow goes away. All right? So it's pretty simple for those guys. Okay? Corners never have run support because we're a base cover 3. All our coverage is off cover 3. When we're in our base stack, it's a cover 3. So they're playing pass first. They never declare, until that ball declares the line of scrimmage, they never come up for run support. Okay, same with the free safety. All right? Any questions on that?
So secondary last year, we have like a 3 roll, which is 3.
Well, when they give us some different stuff, we will roll. I mean, I get into some different formations, we'll roll some coverage. But the one thing, and I'll draw it up here in a second, and Coach Ashbaugh did this, and so he might be able to input, and we're going to put it in this year, okay, because he runs an 8-man front, so it's similar. But, well, if you get, everybody says you got your cover 3, so this is the first thing offenses are going to do to you, take 4 verticals on you, okay? We line up like this in our cover 3 look, okay? Now, when you play, if you guys coach in the 4-3, when you have your half field safeties playing cover 2 and you get 4 verticals, you tell them to do what? Stay over the top of both verticals, hugging 60-40.
Right.
Okay, well, what he did with his kids, and I like it because it allows us to keep 8 in the box now, and we're going to put this in this year, is as soon as he's going to make a streak call, he's got a vertical threat of 2 people. So he's going to say streak, streak, streak. So if he gets 2 vertical, he's going to start his back pedal, work into 60-40 relationship on the inside guy. He'll bail playing 50-50. Okay? So now the place where they have to throw it is out there. It's a longer throw, it's a harder throw. Okay, even if they throw it here, your corner should be able to react to it or pick it. Okay, I think Coach was telling me that you only had 1 deep ball thrown on you out of 25 vertical threats. So 1 completion out of 25 is pretty good. Okay, we never saw 4 verticals. Okay, we never saw 4 verticals out of the whole time. In Cairo last year, we had 0 people try 4 verticals. Now, we rolled our coverage, okay? I'll show you real quickly, and it's getting off a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. But what we did to this, and you'll see it on the tape, okay? When we got this set, we played it 1 of 2 ways, and this is the way we primarily played it. We rock this guy back here, rock him over, okay? He'd stay here. We'd have our rover give a U call, and we'd bring our Willie out here, okay? And we'd slide these guys over. So like that, so we'd actually look like a 50, okay, or a 3-4 defense, and then we're playing what we call cover 4, which is quarters. Okay, all right. And that's what we did to say, okay, you're not going to throw for 4 verticals on us. But what I like is I like what he did better because now I can keep 8 in the box. Okay, I mean, so like I said, I haven't done that. I'm not sure how, it's going to fit into the stack perfectly because it's the same 8-man principles, okay? Now, will we still do some of this? Yeah, because I like doing this too, okay? It just depends on what the team's tendencies are. If it's a 3rd and 15, I might roll to this instead of staying in 3, you know, because there's less that, because I have that ability, and you have that ability to do that. The biggest thing is make sure you call your cut. See, I always call a direction on my coverage, okay? So this would be 6 left for us. We're going to call it to the rover. That's telling him, you've got to, or 4 left, you've got to back up. You're a quarter player. As he backs up, he makes a U call. So as he backs up, he says, you. That's telling Willie, you got the flat. Okay, it's just a way to remind your kids. So, because you know how your kids are in high school, they get freaking stupid out there. Okay? So when he gets 4 left, that rover starts backing up, you. And that Willie better start walking. Okay? That's what we do to check that. So, yeah, that's our cover forward. And that's kind of getting ahead of where I was going to, but that gives you an idea of what we're doing.
Coach, since I'm taking this, back up for me. Talk about personnel types from the line.
Okay. Let me draw it back up here.
Okay, from the line all the way back. What your preferences are and what you're looking
Okay.
at.
Let me put this back up, because these guys just got in here, and I'll kind of go over real quick, Coach. I'll get with you later on the ones, okay? That's fine. Okay. Okay, going back to this, when I met with Charlie Strong, the first time to put this defense in, the first thing he told me is, Coach, you're going to run this defense, these 3 guys need to be your best kids. Okay? If you're going to run this guy needs to be your best defensive lineman, this needs to be your best linebacker, and that needs to be a damn good free safety. Okay, I don't want to say your best defensive back, because, you know, that might not be the case, you know, okay? So going back to body types, okay, what I look for in this is, and I'll start on the strong side, and I miss this too. When we line up at Cairo and when we did it in North Carolina, these 3 guys always move to the strength. Okay, so we always kick to the tight end. So it'd be a Roger call for us. Okay, now you can do it that way, or you can just say, no, we're not going to flip it. We're going to just play 8 guys up there, and we don't have to flip it. You got people that you can mirror that way. Because people are going to tight end trade you, okay, if they see you flipping your front. If they tight end trade us, then they're doing something that they don't like to do, okay? Because when they tight end trade, these guys aren't used to blocking what they're running to the strength anyway, okay? So these guys always move strength, these 3 move in weakness, okay? All right, so we call it direction when we get it. 1 tight end, we kick to the tight end. If there's balance, if there's 2 tight ends or 0 tight ends, then we go field, formation, then the quarterback's arm, okay? The reason why I say quarterback's arm, most people are right-handed teams or something like that, okay? That's our kick rules. Now, personnel-wise, this guy right here, we tackle, you know, this terminology I changed again, but this is a tackle. He's the kind of kid that you want to be a 3 technique and a 4-3. If you envision a 4-3 defense, that's the kind of kid that plays normally a 3 technique and a 4-3 defense. Okay? This kid, what I like to do is I like to take my 3rd string Willie, put his hand on the ground. Okay? Because I want a quick kid, I want somebody who's physical, but I want to have a little bit of speed off that backside. Okay? So that he can get upfield and put a little bit of pressure, especially when we start doing our zone blitzes and stuff, and you'll see why, because I'll show you a couple of those. All right? These guys are your typical 4-3 linebackers, okay? You want a guy right here, like I said, he's got to be your best, but he's got to have a nose for the football and be able to get to C-gap like that, okay? Be able to get through traffic, okay? You want the best, the kid that can find the football and get to it the quickest should be that kid right there. Doesn't have to be the biggest. He's got to be the booger eater, is what I call it. The nastiest SOB on your team, okay? And loves to get him physical. That's the kid you want right there. This kid's your normal Sammy background 4-3, okay? A little bit bigger, you know, not as good pass coverage guy, okay? This kid's got to be able to cover a little bit. So he's a little bit lighter in the pants. We move a little bit, because if we do go cover 4, he's got to be out to play flat, okay? Now, these guys are strong safety type kids, okay? Strong safety type kids, maybe a Willie linebacker type kid. Those are the body types you're looking for. Okay, when we watch the tape, the kid that's playing this position, the game you'll watch, number 23, he's a freshman. Started seven games, played in every game, but started the last 7, ended up leading the region in interceptions from that position right there. Okay, as a freshman. Okay, he'll be playing this position next year. As a kid that we had playing this position, is playing basketball Clemson next year, so he's done. But this kid's a little bit more physical kid, because of course he's to the tight end side. They're going to run to this side. I'll tell you, when you first line up, and you can sit here and look. Everybody's going to say, I can run right there. And here's what I tell you. Bullshit. Go ahead and try it. Okay? You ain't going to do it. All right, you can't block them off. And you think you can, and you're going to sit there and you can come up here and draw something and then block them off. But I'm telling you, it can't happen. Okay, what Charlie said is this. That kid right there is usually not best blocker. He's usually not their best blocker. He's usually in high school, he's usually a light tackle. Somebody that you can't put in those front five positions. So you say, hey, I'm going to put him out there, he can catch a little bit, I'm going to make him a tight end. That's what most of us do. So he's not that good at blocking. So why put somebody on top of him, make his job easier? These guys are better athletes than him, so make him block them in space. Okay? And that's Charlie's philosophy, and I agree with that, especially after running it 4 years. We will never cover a tight end unless we go to our 8-man front. Okay? We will never cover our tight end. It'll always look like that right there. Okay? All right? Is that what you looking for, Coach, body type wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, the secondary guys are secondary kids. You know, if you want to play a lot of man coverage, get some kids, if you got kids that can run, you know, the thing is, even at Cairo, we got some speed, but we can't play a lot of man coverage, so I zone blitz a lot. Coach, you know, I've talked to other coaches that, you know, that's all they play. If you talk to Scott Sloan, he'll tell you that all they play is zero, okay, because they have the talent to do that. Now, if we have the talent, then yeah, that's all I'm going to play zero, and I'm going to get after you play, okay, because if you can do that, this defense even works better, okay. Real quick, just base option rules. Now, this is if you don't have a stunt, okay, don't have a stunt on, because anytime you start stunting, running a blitz, your option rules change, okay? And you'll understand why, okay? Base option rules, they run. These guys are your dive players, okay? These guys are your quarterback players. These are your pitch players, okay? Now, what we tell these guys, if you get quarterback down the line, just like that, you got an option read, okay? What he's told, he's got quarterback down the line, he's going to work, become an extra alley player, okay? He's going to check what first? Move, counter, reverse, because quarterback's away. Move, counter, reverse, and then he's going to replace the free safety in the middle third. When he does that, his eyes are going to go to number 2. Because you know how people that run the option, they like getting that free safety line and then running him up the alley, okay? So we're protecting that so we can get him fourth body to the pitch a little quicker. Makes him more aggressive. Okay? As soon as he sees that mesh and goes, he can fly. Because he knows the middle can be covered by that rover. Okay? He knows that. Same thing if it goes this way. Then he's going to move, counter, reverse, work back, and that frees him up to get up there quicker. So actually, you're playing the option with 4 people. Okay? Because the way we tell this guy here, the way we tell those guys here is, you get to the line of scrimmage and you're playing quarterback to pitch. You're going to string that thing out as long as you can, keeping the shoulders square, and then if he pitches the ball, which he should, then you're going to redirect and go help on the pitch if you can. So it's quarterback to pitch. He's pitched. Okay? All right? Any questions on that? That's base. Okay? That's if you don't have any stunts. If you're slanting and angling, just real quick, if you slant, he's working outside, so he's got to become who? Your quarterback player. Okay? So now he knows on slant, I've got to dive. Okay? You see that? So if he gets option read, then he better be sticking his damn nose up there for the dive. So that's what I'm saying. When you start playing games, you got to make sure you got quarterback, dive, and a pitch player. And then you're fine. Once you have those identified, you can teach them to your kids, then you're good to go. And if you're playing an option team, you got one of 2 choices. Make sure your kids know who's playing what out of every blitz, or got your blitzes back and be simple out there. Okay? Because you can get it, I mean, against Newton Conover, you know, they had Kurt Dukes who played at Nebraska while we started playing, when we went here, pitch, quarterback. And then we started doing a whole bunch of stuff to them, because you can really mess with it, okay? So it's your choice. And that's their base option rules. Any question over that? Everybody clear? Okay. Again, guys, any questions or something you want to see, you know, specifically, then let me know and we'll draw it up here. That's the formation. We only have, I'll show you this real quick. We have 2 formation checks, okay? And one of them is because my head coach won't let me do it. I shouldn't say that in the video.
Yes, you'll take it, man.
He gets a copy of that, I might be fired. But one formation check we have is in any form of trips. Anytime it's 3-by-1, whether it's a tight end or wing or whatever, what we do is we rock our 3 linebackers and we become basically like a 50. We take him and we walk him out and he's head up, he's right there. We slide our Mike, we slide our Willie, okay, and we loosen this guy up to 6 yards, okay? And the free safety will rock over here. And what we play behind this is what we call cover 7, okay? And what 7 is basically is the quarters to the front side, okay? Yeah, he might have been lying. It's a quarter coverage here, okay? He's locked on man. Now what we tell our rover is this: ball's off the ball, and you got to eyeball number 3 and number 2, because if some people run 4 verticals. If they run those 2 guys up the middle, you're going to help on that, okay? So he's at 6 yards because he's still got to be able to play any kind of run this way. So we loosen him up 2 more yards. Quarterback's off the ball. His eyeballs go right to there first. If nothing happens and he just sinks and he helps half field. Okay, so you essentially get double coverage back here. The Willie, if the back comes this way, he's locked on man. If the back goes that way, then he sits in the hole as a bonus play. Okay, so it's a combo coverage. All right. And it takes care of pretty much anything out of trips. Now, the reason why we do that is his sole job. There's a lot of people down here in South Georgia, when they get in trips, they like doing that, sprinting to it. So his sole job is to pull that quarterback up. Okay, and it allows us to help get that pulled up, because with the tackle, it's tougher for him because he's got that tight end or another body out there. So we did that to help with that. That's our one formation check. The only other formation check we have is when they give us 2 tights, we go to our 8-man front. Okay? All right, and I'll draw that up real quick so you see that. You can stay stacked. I'll draw it up both ways. You guys make the call of what you want to do with your personnel. Right now, we do this right here. If we get 2 tight ends, like an A set, okay? Actually, it doesn't matter if it's A set or not. It's 2 tight ends, and we line up like this. Okay, we call that a red front. That's an 8-man front. That's how we line up. These guys are heavy to the outside. They're not really outside, but they're heavy to that side. Okay. Now, if you chose to stay in stack, because if you don't cover the tight end with 1 tight end, you don't really necessarily have to cover it if it's 2. Okay, but if you did, then you'd look like this. And I mean, this is what Coach Sloan did. I know that. They just sat there like this. Okay, it's your call. Okay, we do this because a lot of teams go 2 tights in short yardage situations. This is a better short yardage defense than this, in my mind. Because what we do is we run our deal stunt. And what we do on deal is we send these 2 guys to the A gap, and these guys to the B gap. Okay, so it helps against draw and quarterback sneak, stuff like that.
You're getting after me now, Stack. I mean, well, you don't
Oh,
really have a
you're
song.
fine.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, it's a situation, Coach. I mean, if it's 3rd and 1, I'm feeling better with that. Now, we put that weight tape on, I think, against Carolina. He had 2 3rd and 1s in the first quarter, and he stayed in this, and they converted, because you really don't have that thug up the middle, to stop a short yardage play like that. So that's why I like this a little bit better. But that's your all's call. Here's the thing. We run this as a secondary front just so that people have to prepare against both. Now they got to prepare against an odd man and an even front. I run this probably about 35% of the time. Okay? So now you as an offensive coach have to be prepared for that, because you're going to see it. This messes with blocking rules, so they got to redo all their blocking rules to play this. Then they still have to get the kids ready to be able to block this. So that puts a strain on the people you're playing. Okay? All right, so that's what we do. Those are the only 2 formation checks we have. So that's what I'm saying. It's simple. They get up here and they start doing all this motioning and checking and tight end swaps. Your kids can just stand there. Hurry up, let's play. We tell our kids when they do that, all they're doing is getting themselves tired and short ball snap. So you're ready to roll.
Coach, back on the trips, you said the rover drops to 6, free safety is where?
Free safety rocks because it becomes a half field coverage to that side, Coach. Let me draw it up real quick. Anytime you get a 3-by-1, this is what we look like. So if it was like this, our strike's gonna come down here and be head up on that guy right there. Bandit's gonna be there, corners here, free safety's here because he becomes a corners player. So he should be on that hash mark, okay, depending on where the ball placement is. And our rover loosens up there to 6. Willie, Mike, corner. And again, he's locked on man. He has to understand he's man, okay? And that coverage. And then he's got to understand that back steps to him, and he's got a man, okay? And then the rover just simply, like I said, 6 yards, quarterback off the ball anywhere, he eyeballs 2 and 3. If 2 and 3 don't come vertical, then he's back on the hash, helping backside. You know, some teams will put their best receiver over here, and now you've got double coverage. Because if they don't send somebody, here's the thing, if they don't send both of them, okay, so his read is this, if 2 and 3, if either one of them goes in, goes out, or blocks, then he's a half-field player. Okay, either one of those two, but if they both go vertical, then he's got to get over the top and help.
Fresh quarter, half.
This is it's a quarter man coaches. So I call it different. We call quarter half cover 6, okay? Because now in 6 he knows he's the flat player. This we call 7, because now he knows in 7 it's a man, okay? And that's how we distinguish to those kids what between the coverage, okay? Clear on that?
Yep.
Any questions on that? Again, those are the only the only two formation checks we have. Okay? So it's pretty simple on that one. Okay? Let me real quick. Okay. All right. Now, the thing on this defense, guys, is this: you got 3 down linemen. You want to bring pressure, either 4-man pressure or 5-man pressure from somewhere out of the 8. Okay? And it's up to your imagination, really, okay? And what I'll do is I'll just show you a couple that we do, okay? And I'll start off with the 1-man pressures first. And I'm just going to draw up the front 8, okay? We have a 1-man blitz where we can send any one of those 5 guys. And we basically call it rip, whack, mac, smack, and bandit. So the idiots know who's going. That's as simple as I can get it. We try to keep it as simple as we can because you know how our kids are. Okay? If they're on a stunt, then they blitz the gap they're responsible for. So for example, if I went stack, slant, rip, okay? Slant rip would be this. Okay? Slant rip. Okay, if I went slant mac, okay, I'm slanting the front, but I'm going to send him, okay? We turn this into a flow blitz. If the fullback steps that way, then he's going to get downhill to that B gap, okay? If the fullback steps that way, we're going to take him to the A gap. So what we've done is we've made it a kind of a flow blitz because we didn't want our Mac blitz hitting that B gap and then running ISO weak. So we said, take your read step and then go if it's a 1 linebacker blitz. Okay, that changes when we add another linebacker. You follow me on that, guys? Okay, that's up to you if you want to do it that way, okay? But he would essentially, based on flow, would go hit the gap he's responsible for. Okay? Same with these guys. These guys are flow blitzers when it's a 1 linebacker blitz. These guys are contained blitzers. If I had bandit called, we'd probably run an angle bandit, move the front away from the bandit guy, and he's coming down. He's as deep as the ball. Okay? He's as deep as the ball. He's contained. If either one of these 2 guys get a peel by the back, like a flare route or a swing route, as they blitz, they're going to peel blitz and go cover that guy. Okay? And I'll get into that on my zone coverage when we get into our zone blitzes here in a little bit. Okay? But those are the 1 back pressures that we use. I mean, and you can, again, it's up to your imagination how you want to do it. Okay? But that's what we do down here at Cairo. Okay? Any question on 1-man? Okay, now the next step's what I like the best. I'm going to bring 5, I'm going to bring 6, you know, depending on the situation, depending on what a team does. And, you know, when I bring 5, unlike Coach, who just walked in, he's a man guy. Well, he got better athletes than I. His X's are better, than my X's. So I'm going to play zone behind it, okay? And when we do it, the only thing you need to remember, and you can dream up any kind of blitz you want, okay? When you're running zone blitz, you've got to have 3 things. Okay? And when you're a base cover 3, the first thing you've got to have is you've got to have 3 people to play a deep 30. Okay, that's your number 1 thing. Okay, so you got to have number 1. You've got to have 3 players to play a deep 30. Okay, so in this, it's going to probably be your corners and free safeties. Okay, unless you want to bring one. So there are third players. Okay, the number 2 thing you've got to have is what I call, you've got to have 2 people, okay, to play what I call a seam, okay, or the curl flat, okay. Then you have to have 1 player who plays the pit, okay. 1 player to play the pit, okay. All right, now, my favorite zone blitz that we run, we call it strong or weak lightning. So we can bring it from the strength or we can bring it from the weak side. Okay, when we bring strong lightning, it's going to be the Sammy and the Mac. Okay, when we run this, okay, the ends of the tackles are contained. Okay, they're gonna step. Now their rush on this, when we run this, like I told you on slant and angle, we don't cross over and go. When we run the zone blitz, they're cross over and go because they're contained rushers. We want their ass up the field, keeping the quarterback in the pocket. So they're dip, rip, and go. And they're going contained. Okay. Now, just like the Bandit and the Rover, if they're coming off the edge, if they get a flare by the back, they go with them. And you'll see on this tape, this guy flares, and my big friggin' 240-pound tackle goes out with him and almost picks the ball. Okay?
What's
So they
his
can
aiming
do it.
point, Coach, on that? Tight end's hip?
Tight end's hip still, Coach, but it's aggressive. I mean, it's dip, rip, and you're trying to get your ass up the field. Okay? It's a little tougher for him because they can't combo his butt. Okay? So he's got to really go. It's a little easier for him. Okay? All right, so there's their stunt. It's strong lightning, he's going to the weak side A gap. Again, his aiming point is what? Hit for the next down lineman and then upfield. Okay? Now, these 2 guys are involved in the blitz. Outside guy always goes first. Okay? So he's going to creep down, hit A gap, he's going to go tight off his ass and hit the B gap. Okay? There's no way that guard's going to block both of them. Okay, what should happen if there's a zone team? That tackle should turn out here, that nose should turn here, and that guy's got to make a decision. So one of those guys is going to be running free. Okay, now, you got to have a seam player. Got to have 2 of them. Here's your seam players. Hook to flat. Hook to flat. That's your hole player, or pit player. Okay, so you're covered. So that's what I'm saying. You know you have these 3 things, you can bring this blitz from anywhere you want. Okay, anywhere you want. Okay, one that we had up at St. Stephen's, and I'll draw it up right here, which was a good one for us. Okay, we went here. Hole player, seam player, third. Okay? So again, it's whatever you want to do. Okay, as long as your kids can understand it. Okay? Because now you come up with a name for this. Okay? We could call it BAM, B and Mac. So now he knows the bandit's going, so I got to cover that zone. Okay? That goes back to the one-man pressures. You know, if we had a bandit or rip going, that willing strike now becomes a flat player to that side. Okay? That'll cover that zone. So I mean, it's again, whatever you can dream up in this defense, that's what I like about it. You sit at staff meetings till 1 o'clock. You know, you're not just bullshit. You're actually on the board drawing up stuff. But of course, your kids have to be able to understand it too, so you don't get too carried away. All right. But you know, we do have 6-man pressures. If you bring 6, we play man coverage. Okay, that's when we play. That's when we say, hey, we're going to get after you, but we're saying we're going to tap you before you go the ball, so we will go man coverage. Okay? But that's the zone blitzes, guys. And you talk to anybody who runs zone blitzes, you talk to Coach Trick, that's the key elements right there. Okay? If you have those, then you can dream up any blitz you want out of any front. Okay? Especially what's going on this. The advantage to this stuff, guys, is this. They're not going to know where you're coming from the next level. You got 3 down linemen, you got 5 guys. You can bring either a combination of 2 of them, or 1 of them, or 3 of them, and the offense is not going to know where they're coming. Okay? So it gives you an advantage. High school linemen are not that good at blocking movement. So you're moving 80, 85% of the time. so they can't do that. Your kids are going to love it because they're going to think that they get advantage. When we installed this last spring at Cairo High School, after 2 days of practice, my kids were walking off, Coach, this is awesome. I love this. I love it. I love it. Because they get excited about it because it now gives them a chance to be successful. You know, we teach them this. If I call lightning in a run situation, say it's 2nd and 8, and it's kind of in between down. They might throw, they might run. I call strong lightning, but we get an ISO, okay? All right, we don't want him being a robot and running through the B gap. He goes there and he sees that flow, then he's redirected immediately. Okay, he's downhill, he's going to A gap, he's trying to fight across that ball to get there. Okay, so they need to understand situation. They need to understand that you might get a run. What I like to do is I like to get about 4 blitzes that I'm going to run each week. Okay, and then I add a new one for the second half so they can't adjust to it. Okay, or they have to adjust to it on the sidelines. And then I like to run it into their 5 favorite running plays. Okay, so if one of their favorite running plays is ISO strong, then I'm going to run during practice sometimes strong lightning right into an ISO strong. So my kids we're just shipping tonight, okay? Then I might run weak lightning because that's the worst blitz I can run. Because we're coming from the weak side and they're running strong ISO. So I want to be able to let my kids see, okay, here's the best case scenario, here's the worst case scenario. So now you have to cover it because I screwed up, okay? I made a bad call. You aren't going to make, if you're blitzing, coach, you know it. You ain't going to guess right every time. They're going to gain 20 yards, but you tell your kids this, that's fine, line up, we ain't going to let them score. We're a bend but don't break defense. And I've seen it time and time again since I've been running this. They'll march the ball down the daggum field. They hit that 20-yard line, they lock down. And they can't get it in. It's just, kids start to believe that. They hit that red zone, our kids get pissed off. And they fight a little bit harder. So, okay, any questions on zone concept? Okay, now my favorite all-time blitz is jailbreak. I'll show you jailbreak. I talked to Coach about it last night. He got a big old smile on it when I talked to him. So I'll put this on the board so you got it. This is a man blitz. The guys, I use this up in St. Stephen's for short yardage stuff. You can use it anytime you want, really, but I used it primarily in some short yardage situations and in some passing situations, especially when you know you got them. Okay, our jailbreak blitz is this. He's going to contain, he's going weak A, he's going to contain, he's here, he's here, he's here. And it's man coverage. Okay, they ain't going to block that. Okay, ain't going to block it. You're going to be knee deep in that quarterback's butt before he's even turned around. Okay, because what you do is you got to work that blitz on cadence and getting those kids to learn how to time that thing up right, and get after it. Okay. We just called that stack jailbreak. We'll bring it in the house, baby. You better be ready for it. Okay. And of course, we played zero coverage behind it. Now you can play zone. What we have done is we played zone behind it. How you play zone? So you give up the pit. Okay. So what we told our free safety is this: because he's our seam player, he's our seam. You got an outside third and an outside third. So what we told our free safety is this: if you have no middle third threat, then you play over the top of the pit. Okay, so if they run like a crossing route with the tight end and there's no post behind it, okay, then that free safety can get up here and mess up that tight end's lunch, okay, because there's no one there for the pit. But he can play up over that if there's no threat for him. We've done it both ways, okay. Because there's not too many high school quarterbacks that can stand back there with 6 guys in their face and throw it to the pit. I haven't seen one yet, okay. So that's up to you. I mean, I'll risk that. I'll give up the pit. Okay. The thing about this defense is this, and I'll leave this up on the board real quick. A lot of teams are going to come out real quick and try to hit you. Because your kids are 5 to 7 yards off the ball. Biggest thing is this: is on his read when he gets, and I really should have went over it. These guys' reads are hard. They're tough when they first start. Okay. If they get 3-step, okay, and I probably should go back to that. If they get 3-step, then what they're doing is once they have 3-step, their eyes turn to number 1, and their aiming point is 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, okay, to the top of the numbers, okay, based on where that route is, okay, 10 yards off the ball, Based on what they're going to adjust it to the route. But they've got to see what number 1 does. So in pass skelly or anything, first thing I do is when we run pass skelly, I look at my rover and I say, what number 1 do? If he can't tell me, he does 5 up downs. Because he has to know what that guy's doing. Okay? If he goes vertical, then he sinks into the flat. We don't want him covering space. So he starts working back inside. If 1 hitches, then he's under the hitch. Okay? So he's got to know what number 1's doing. All right? And it's tough at first for those kids. Okay? But you'll see our kids on film do it. These guys, their progression is this. This is how we teach them. And I should have gone over this and I apologize. They're here. The ball's in there. My progression for those corners is this. Looking at the quarterback, the ball snapped. It's 1, 2, 3. So when I hit that 3rd step, I should see if it's 3 step. If it's 3 step, then I plan on that foot and I attack the receiver. And I attack his outside shoulder because most coaches teach, catch the ball, turn it outside. So, or if they run a hitch and go, what do they tell the kid? Hitch, turn outside on the hitch and go. So what I tell my kids, if you get a hitch and go and you're driving and that kid starts to turn, run him over. Run him over. Because the ball's not thrown, so we can do that. Take him out of the ratio. That's how you cover your deep third. And we drive over the top. And you'll see if we get to it on the film where our kids did a pretty good job of that, driving over on top of that third. But they'll come out and try to hitch on you a bunch because they see it. You know, your kids stand back there at 7 yards. You know, that's why we said start playing with it. So that goes back to that, you know, base stuff. Okay. Any questions on that? Coach, any questions? I mean, you probably got some. You got in here late. Coach, anything?
No, I came late.
You're just here for the ride?
Yeah.
Okay, let me put some tape on. We'll go through this tape. We'll look at some of these plays, and guys, I'll point out some of the blitzes. We don't have anything on here. This is just a base read right here. Everybody's playing base. Okay, they're trying to run up top. Okay, Mike and the strikes unblocked. Now you will see them get us on an option here in about 3 plays because everybody takes a damn dive. So, okay, now this is our 4 wide receiver adjustment. Remember I said we're going to rock cover 4, slide our linebackers. That's what we did here. Our rover's up top. Our rover's right up here. Okay, or that's our Willie. I mean, he's got a U-call, so he's out on the flat. They run option. We take the dive and got him there. The Willie has the quarterback on that. Back to our base look. This is a tight copy, so you really don't see the secondary guys. Okay, now number 84 is wrong there. He should be dropped. We don't have a blitz on. He blitzed himself. We should have went ahead and made a play. Okay, first series three. Okay, here they're running hitch on us. Okay, that's our black front right there. We got 2 tight ends, so we check black automatically. We're a little late over the top of that hitch there. It should be a little bit better. What I tell my kids, guys, is this: is on those hitch routes, we're going to let them throw it. We're going to rally to it. There's not going to be too many high school offensive coordinators who are going to be patient enough to sit there and hit you all the way down the field. So we're going to let them throw the hitch. We're going to rally to it. You know, if they gain, 6 or 8 yards, and we're going to live with it and fight the next play. So, but we want to be more aggressive than that. There's our trips check. Okay. Okay, got linebackers missed the tackle. They missed the tackle. First game in there. Yeah. Our defensive end here misses the tackle. Okay, Rico's the number 84 is our strike. Okay, what he's supposed to do is he's supposed to be outside just a little bit more, head up on that number 3 receiver there, and he's supposed to be working to contain. What they're doing here is they're running a little speed option, so he goes up, he's got pitch. Well, you just missed the tackle there.
Did you talk about his adjustment
As far
on
as
the number 2? is alignment as
Well,
far as.
that's not the strike, that's gonna be the bandit and the rover. And coach, what coach is asking is, anytime the bandit, and I'll just draw up the strong side here real quick, anytime the bandit or the rover, okay, gets 2 receivers or a trip set, and what he's gonna take his alignment, once this guy goes past 5 yards, okay? Once he goes past 5 yards, then he's gonna split the difference between the end man on the line of scrimmage and that guy, okay? If I throw Wake Forest film in, even though he gets way out on the numbers, they take their kids out there with him. I don't like that because, we don't have the athletes, for one, and I just like to keep him in the box more. But if he's 5 yards or a little closer to the formation, then the bandit is going to be head up on that kid, okay? So if they give you a trip set like this, what we would look like is right there, okay? And if you look at that picture, that last picture, our strike's inside too much. He should be head up on that wing guy, because what he doesn't want to do is get hooked. Okay, because he's got to contain, anytime that guy's got a threat to hook him, he needs to get out there because he wants to contain.
Now, as far as your blitz package, how do that change?
Well,
now you're moving 2 guys.
see, the thing is, if I had a blitz called and they gave us trips, then we check out the blitz. Okay, so if I had stacked strong lightning called and they gave us trips, then they're gonna say check red, and the blitz is off. Okay. Now I might have a blitz that says, okay, if we check red, you're running this blitz. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what they're doing out of the trips package.
And quick note, the way we do it, if
Guys, coach runs this defense too, so.
if we did have a word, I guess you call it a bandit, had to move out, we would give a swap call depending on what kind of stuff we run. If we had that bandit running the stunt,
Yeah.
we would give it a swap call. Now, if we had
What he's talking about is this right here, guys, because we did a little of that. I don't do it at Cairo. This guy gets way out here, okay? They've split you way out here, okay? And that bandit's got to get here, and he was supposed to go. He's going to say swap, 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 and now he goes, okay? So keep your blitz on, okay? So if you had we have a blitz we call Bravo that brings the bandit and the rover. So if I had stacked Bravo and he gets way out there, and he just looks at him and says switch, 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 and now he becomes the contending rusher that side. And we do some of that too. That's a
I
good point.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't remember, that's a good point. But if we check a front, we take out the blitz. We're not smart enough to keep the blitz on. So we check the front, we get out the blitz.
we're not smart enough to check out.
Oh. So, we are not smart enough to do that. So this next play is one of the reasons why I kind of like, see, they're in that spread set. Okay, we're blitzing right there. This is what we call guts blitz. Okay, again, the corner's too weak on this. The alignment sucks right here. He's a little too deep. Okay, we're running zero coverage right here. We're bringing up both outside linebackers. We call this a guts. What gut is the defensive ends. They're going B gap, and our stack and our Willie are rushing C gap. But we're playing cover 0. My corner down here, we're playing man, and he's freaking bailing like he's playing a third, so they are able to get this hitch. If our Willie would have jumped in the air, I think we would have had a batted ball. Bad play by the corner. Okay, now, here's where we adjust. We're playing cover 4 here. Okay, we got a U call. And here's what I like when, I drew it up on the board earlier about staying cover 3 because it leaves 8 men in the box. I think we'd have been advantaged better. When we play this, I'll just go over it real quick. When we do this, because they're going to run option here and they're going to kill us. He's got dive, he's got quarterback, and then this safety back here is root coming down for pitch. And you'll see everybody takes the daggum dive, and you'll see what happens. My coach wasn't too happy with us. So make sure your kids know your option responsibility. Even if they know it, hell, they might not run it. So, because our kids knew what they were doing, they just got nosy and took the dive. Okay, we're back in our base stack right there. We're going 0. I'm sorry, it was just base stack. There's a counter play right there, and we try to sting it. And guys, our up front guys, we wrong arm anything just like a 4-3 defense. Okay, we're going to try to make everything bounce. Got to head for blitz. 84 right there was the South Georgia Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. We'll miss him. Black front. So that's better. See how the corner's right on top of that hitch there? That was better by him there. He's a little closer. Okay, trips coverage. We're going to be checking our red front. Okay, again, this outside linebacker, our strike, that kid right there should be outside more. is he can seal him now and they can get the edge. He's got to widen out a little bit. That kid's on the hash, he should be at least head up on that kid, okay, because they got trips outside there. See how he gets sealed inside? And he's basically our pitch player. So by alignment, he hurt us on that.
The running back, who was your cutback guy coming?
It's going to be the Rover.
It's the Rover there.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. He's going to be your Rover. It's a 50. He's going to the Rovers again. We're in cover 7 here, so the Rover's looking 3-2. If 3 or 2 blocks ends out, then he's looking boot counter cutback, and he's half field late because this guy's man coverage up here. He's a man coverage right there. See how he's settling? He's coming across. He just over pursues. You'll see him make, that kid's a freshman, 23. So he made a few mistakes in this game. Okay, I got a guts call again. Linebacker's coming. And see, guys, when you bring guys, it doesn't matter where when you start bringing pressure, you can get in the backfield and get tackles for loss with this defense. And my boot counter reverse guy didn't do what he's supposed to do there. Okay, it should be the rogue, should be number 3 right there. We got, well, we should see, we got a little alignment problem, and our bandit Rover ended up being on the same side because they didn't hear the kick call. Because that's my bandit Rover standing there holding hands. Because he's a freshman and he freaking had a brain fart. So he should be our cutback player right there. The boot counter reverse, he should be standing right there looking for boot counter reverse. So what we tell him is, if flow goes away, if you eyeball over here and he's coming back at you, then you probably got reverse coming. So he doesn't play it because they're worried about. See, he's not even ready to play football. So now he's out of position. When we played this year, we didn't get off the bus well. Every time we had a road game, we spotted teams 12 points. Yeah, that comes from the honor. So I mean, for some reason we didn't travel really well. I only lose 2 off the defense. Or actually 57, I'm sorry, 57, 84, and 7 are the only 3 kids off the defense I lose. So we're pretty good at saving defense.
John, what's your name, dude?
He's hat reading coach. He's going to be a hat reader. You know, sometimes when we run. Okay, 2 tight ends. We're going to check our black front. That's our black 8-man front. Missed tackle. But that's how he wants to play the game.
I know you already told him, but your black front, you just move your linebackers down.
We move 1 linebacker up. Here's where we go from our black. This is what we look like. We get 2 tight ends, or if I just call them black, I'll draw it up against a pro set.
I'll apologize.
That's okay. No, awesome. That's why we're here, Coach. If we're in stack, we'll look like this. Okay. If I call black, then all we do when they break the huddle, he's gonna line up right there. We're gonna kick over to head up. And slide these 2. So it's an 8-man front. Okay. So it look like this right here. We're gonna kick. These guys are going to be stacked right behind me. Everything's the same. Everything stays the same.
And it's an automatic with it.
If it's too tight, we're going to check it. But see, I'll call this every now and then. I'll call it as a change up front. Okay, because I'll run stack, and then I'll say, okay, we're going to run black. Because it's based, sometimes the situations. And then he comes down, he stays in a 2-point stance. So if this is the tight end, one side foot back, head up on the tight end, just like this. Step and read, unless I'm on the game. Okay. We call it black. Our 3 fronts are stacked, black, and red. Okay, stack meaning we're going to be in the 3-3, and then black is that, and then red is our 50 there. Where we check the trips. Okay. That's just we use those because it's our school colors. So black, and red. Okay. And then again, stack is. If we're in stack, we keep it up. See it. And those are the two fronts we're talking. Okay. Bad stunt there. Gotta give them up. These guys are a little soft on this stunt. It's actually one of the linebacker up top's wrong. Well, actually, we checked it.
This is a real,
What we did is we checked, it was a trips formation, we checked red, and my backside linebacker still ran on guts to me. He shouldn't have been going, number 28. There's black. Again, bend but don't break. Here comes, that's a gut stunt. You miss a tackle. The rover's there for cleanup. Or bandit's there for cleanup. Again, on guts, linebackers to the C gap, ends are to the B gap. We're zoned. This would be a cover 3 zone behind this coach.
Yeah, spilling it.
They're supposed to, coach. He's so far, he's trying to spill it. Yeah, number 30 is a little bit of a, he's got a little bit out of, he plays about 190 miles an hour, so you don't get on it too much. Okay, see, there's the bandit that's looking, you know, he wants to get out there. He also got to see what the one's doing in collision. He does a decent job here on this 3-step. He gets 3-step, he's working out the flat, see how he's working. And we tell him, once you get a guy going to flat like that, you run. You know, we're not going to worry about, you know, don't worry about the ball. You find the receiver and get to the receiver. Again, everybody takes a daggone dive. We didn't play the option too well.
I'll go back on that one, John. Who's got, what were you in then? What was that stat?
It's probably right.
Yeah, so that's an issue.
Now this is 4 wides where we went to cover 4. It's the same thing they did last time, Coach, when he almost scored on us. See, this is why I like what Coach Ashball said about staying cover 3, so you don't have to worry about 4 vertical threats, playing the corners 60-40. Because now if I do that, I've got 8 men in the box, and it's harder for them to run this. You know, we're kind of giving this because our defensive end's got to play dive. He's got it. But now that linebacker needs to get over the top, and then our outside backer who's not in the screen yet, he should be coming up here for quarterback, and he's getting blocked. So, you know, if we have our stack front, they can't block that guy's stack right there. You know, so it's better defense. Here comes blood. It's a blood stunt. Again, good job by the bandit right there. See the corner too? Okay, that's how you want to rally to that stuff right there, guys. Once they see it and that pin's pulled, they need to get to it that quick. Okay, we blow a coverage here. Our pretty safe, our young freshman blows a coverage right here. Not this one, the next one. And that's better on the option. I think I had a stunt call there. No, it's winning that base front. All that is stack, and we make a U call based on the formation. That's a better job by the backer though.
And 34, that's your striker.
84 is our strike, our strong side stack now. 34 is a bandit. Okay, that's a blood stunt there. Guts, bringing him off the edge. Okay, pump and go. I wish you could see the receiver because he did a great job on the hit and go, and he was able to get back and get a pick there. But again, they marched the ball down and got to the 20. We picked the ball if they don't score. So, you know, your kids can't get upset when they make a big play. They just got to say, okay, we're going to fight the next play because they're going to miss a play because you're so aggressive that you're going to give up a big play. You just got to come back and play. We do it right here. That got linebacker. We're just not tackling right there.
On that back,
This is what you're talking about. 13.
But D-line look like do a lot of stuff like that. We see some of that formation.
See, our bandit up top's playing wrong. He's not. He's playing. He's lined up like he's playing man. He's freaking had a brain fart. because I know we're not, I know I didn't call man coverage to this. He should be squared up looking like those other four linebackers. And then we just over pursue with the mic and we're catching. We just didn't play well on that snap.
So how will you have your linebacker play that with that lead guy?
They take it on just like an ISO.
Yeah.
Outside on three.
You want to turn
We
it in.
want to turn it in. Yep, we want to turn it in. Okay, now we, again, our bandit up top's line wrong. He doesn't play after this. Okay, see now here's the thing. They're motioning to trips. So see our strike right now, he's got that motion. He's going to trips. Okay. Right here, now what you should see is our other two linebackers sliding over a little bit, but it's too late. The ball snaps, and he went ahead down here and ran the stunt that we had called. And Rico does a nice job getting upfield, clogging it up enough. Daggum bandit runs right by it. And he's on the bench with me now, so. He took it on the wrong shoulder. I mean, he does a nice job stuffing it, but he needs to be outside leverage more again. What the coach is asking is on that lead back, my strike here should be hitting with he hit with his outside shoulder, he should be hitting with his inside shoulder, so that back has to turn inside. And my rover gets hit too much. Okay, trips, we checked red. That's what we want it to look like there. Make it turn back in. See, that's 3-yard pickup on a hitch, so we'll live with that. Again, we have trouble with the option.
Run that back.
We should be checked here. See, what the rover should be doing is coming downhill automatically. That's why we only have them at 6. Okay, here's why you got to play them at 6. Okay, and I'll draw it up so you see that. If you get trips right here, okay, and they're in the gun running speed option. Okay, and they're running speed option to the nub. Okay, he's got to play at 6 yards. He's still got to read because if we've slid like this. Okay, and they get option this way. He's got to work over the top. He's got to get downhill. Okay, that's why we take him at 6 yards, and he doesn't do it here. This is the first. We didn't have 7 in when we played these guys. This is part of the reason why we added 7. So, because his alignments, he's not deep enough there. See, he should have already been down.
So you were in regular 60, you're in quarters and half.
Actually, we didn't get checked to red there, Coach. So it would have been red. Yeah, we would have been at 6. We'd have been regular. It would have been quarter, half. Hold on. Look at this. They give him this. Yep. Let's get through this series here. He's stalling for a second. See, we go right here is goal line. We're playing black most of the time. And what we do is we'll play a little bit of a roll coverage. Our corner does a good job. Like I said, the kids right here, my Lily linebacker's off here.
Y'all don't send them in motion, do you, Coach? You don't send them. We don't need it on. If we don't move anybody in motion, if they motion, because we're a zone team. So, had played there. Get up to the second half real quick. Better job by the end there. We just went base there and read it. Check red. Get that rover needs, that guy's outside wide there. He doesn't, he's not gonna get blocked down there. It's right around the midline. This is the defense coordinator's dream right here, getting the shot on the goalpost. That's how the hitch is played right there, guys. This is textbook right here, what you want your kids to do on the hitch. Going lightning here, it's weak lightning. There's the stun. And again, it's hard to throw to the pit when you got a guy in your face. If we're a little quicker, we'll probably get a safety, but I'll take the 7 instead. See the bike and the wheel, one of them should be untouched. Actually, I think my nose guard went the wrong way. Looking at that again.
The 84 is your striker.
Yeah, he's. That's our black front, 2 tight ends. There's the hitch and go. We got 'em. Here comes lightning again. Should have had a safety. See, what happened here is our defensive end didn't get upfield contained. See, number 54 here, he's supposed to be working upfield to contain. If he gets upfield to contains, then we probably got a safety. See where he's at? He's not even rushing. If he gets upfield, we got a safety. But it's not bad on the hitch here. We'll take this. We just don't want to give up a big play. Checking back. Here we go. We're rolling to cover 4.
On the strike, the flat player on that?
That was 34.
34, okay.
See, what we did is we rolled back to the coverage. Coach, and he's your flat player. And what he did is he escorted number 2 too long. Okay? What he should be doing, like I said, is he's got to know what number 1 does. See what I'm saying? And he never even eyeballed 1. See, if he'd eyeballed 1, then he'd have been sitting underneath that. I mean, you're going to see the good, bad, and the ugly on this. If they're trying to run counter trade, pulling both backside tackle and guard. There's no way you can do that against this front. Huh? Yeah, there's no way you can do this on this front. I mean, the nose guard's unblocked right there, too. Okay, we're rolling. We're going to blitz, so we will man coverage here. That's a weak lightning again. And again, should have had a sack. Good play on the hitch right there. No completion. That's that freshman I was telling you about. But we should have had a sack there. Our ends didn't get quite upfield to contain them on that. Regular stack. Okay, toss sweep two, that rover needs to get upfield a little bit quicker. But he did a nice job stringing it, but we want that thing turned back inside. He gets toss sweep to him, he should be upfield, setting the post, making that running back stop and turn it upfield. So cover 4 check, you call down below. And our linebackers didn't do it right. Yeah, my corner's wrong. I don't know where my corner is on that play. Lightning blitz. No contain again. That's my free safety fault. You let the guy get behind him. Dang, I didn't really, this was a bad take to show.
What team is y'all playing?
This is grass. Kid that's playing quarterback was recruited by everybody in the country, ended up going to Kentucky because South Carolina dropped him late. They're not a bad football team. I put late, this is just an 8-man rush here. We get killed here because our daggone flat flex decides to rush the quarterback. This kid starts scrambling. We're just gonna go with the 3-man rush, we get pinned inside. Now my stride, instead of staying in the zone, comes up after the quarterback, and he's wide open. So we get a break. And if you can get, if you're up 3 guys, if you can get to where you can put pressure on the quarterback, just turn the ball over. They score, they win. They did a nice job on the coverage, he didn't have anywhere to go. Back blitz, doesn't hit it real hard, but it does enough to cause him to pull the ball down and scramble. What that was is that was a smack, because I figured I'm gonna let my best player get after the quarterback, and he read this, felt the screen, and stopped on his blitz. They're gonna make a play.
They run the nose guard test. Are you ready? You didn't have to start?
Nah.
Okay. I didn't know you had started yet.
Do me one favor,
All right.
introduce yourself again,
Okay.
and we're gonna go from there.
Okay, Randy Wood, Morgan County High School in Kentucky, and I will make sure I put down this is Georgia military stuff. I don't want to try and pass it off as my own. Although we're all copycats, you know what I mean, but I still hate to.
Just call something.
I like to give somebody else the credit when I got it from them. Anyway, like I say, 2 defensive ends are nose, and they use head up alignment, and the reason why is because they're stunting every play, and they feel like it's easier to stunt. Because some people in this look like they're running 5 techniques with their ends, but they say they use the head up because it's easier to stunt. So that's their base alignment with those three D linemen. And I'm just going to take you through and let you know what the terminology is for their backers, so it will be at the top. Of course, like everybody, they got a Mike linebacker. And then they call these inside two backers, they call them bats. And of course, all these guys they line up in stacked alignments, and their starting point's about 5 yards off the ball. Their heels are about 4 to 5. And then they run, and the outside two, they call them dogs. Okay? And their base alignment's somewhere between 3 yards outside and about 5 to 8 yards off. But of course, they do the old Roman prow stuff, so they could be anywhere in that area. But that's their general.
They'll play that tight end the same way, about 3 by 8.
Yeah, they'll play 3 by 8 off tight end. They'll play 3 by 8 off of an open end, unless of course there's a twins or something. Got all that? There's nothing complicated. All right, now I'm going to start off by telling you their line movements, because that's how because it all goes from there. Because like I say, every play, their defensive line's stuck somewhere. Trying to get enough teams. Yeah, okay. Like I said, if I move too fast, just holler. All right. So in their base, they just call it base. They run what they call an up stunt. Now, why they call it base and not up, I have no idea, but that's what they said. They run base, they run their up stunt. Their up stunt is their defensive end. Their defensive ends, both of them are just going through C gaps. Nose guard's going to go strong. And of course, that's according to game plan. I mean, if you see a team runs a week all the time, you might change that 1 week. But basically, that's what they do. That's their base line movement. So if the line, and we'll come back to this later on, if the line hears no other movement call, they're just going to run base. And you'll see where that comes into play here in a minute when we talk about some of the other stuff when we're sending linebackers. Okay, and that's their up stunt. I can write that down. Or base. Okay. All right. Their next line movement call would be crash. And it's quite simple what you think it'd probably be. Those two ends are crashing into the big ends. Okay?
Nose still strong.
Yes, sir. And once again, according to game plan, you might want to send him somewhere else. But for the most part, he's going strong. Now they actually, best I remember, they actually don't call strong right, they call closed right. Or open, open, closed, all that good stuff. And the reason why is, for their line, and that's their first two line movements. The next line movements I'll write up here and then I'll show you what they are. They'll run open and closed. Okay. Of course, they'll run strong and weak. And then they'll run right and left. Let's go. Okay, and you can about figure what those are. Of course, I'll show you and tell you everything about it in a second. Okay, and the reason they do open and close is, of course, if there's like an I formation and a twin set, the twins is actually the strength, but the closed side is probably now when we say closed, just to make sure everybody knows what you do, it means tight end. But the closed side would be the tight end side. Now, of course, if there's not a closed side, you would just go to the numbers would be your strength. If you've got 2 out and 1 out, you just go to the strength. Nothing complicated there. So open and closed. Strong and weak, of course, we know what that is. Strong, they're going to the strength. All 3 guys are slanting to the strength. And in a week, all three guys are slanting away from the strength. And then right and left is just right and left, or right and left slant. And the thing about right and left is you sometimes in a game, you're going to know no matter where the strength is, they're going to run behind that big right tackle or that big left tackle. And you may want to be able to call that stunt where you can sit onto that right side, even though the strength may be somewhere else. So if you just call strong right, that may be, your stunt may be going the opposite way where you want it. And that's their reasoning for using that. Now I don't have to draw all those line movements. You guys can imagine what they look like, don't you? I mean, it's just a three-man slam on that.
What's their aiming point on those? Are they?
They're aiming points. Yeah, that's what they said. Aiming at the, well, on a flat, but aiming right at the hip of that guy right there. Yeah, aiming at the hip. They're running upfield, you know, like everybody else does. Dip in a rip and try to get through, and find the ball, redirect, all that good stuff. All right. And that's just your line movements. Okay, I'm gonna break it down into sections. That's your line movements. Okay. Any of those y'all need me to go over again? We got it. Okay. Base, crash, open, close, strong right, or shoot, strong, weak, right, left. All right. Next thing I'll go into, I'll just go into four-man stunts. That way we'll just go through the progression. So we go from line movement to four-man stunts. All right. The first thing we'll look at right here is bat, bob, and buck. Now, if you want me to in a minute, or when we're done, I can tell you a way that I did this. It's a little bit different, but then I can also tell you why their way they think's better. Okay, but I did this stuff a little bit different, but I'm showing you what they did. And which way they did is pretty simple. And it's good to do, and it's actually probably better than what I did. Just my way was a little bit simpler, so that I will give you an option with whichever way you like better. Okay. Now on this, quite simple. Look at the letters. B, A, and C. These stunts had to do with the bats. B, so B going through A, B going through B, B going through C. And you'll see all this in just a second. Okay? We'll start with Bob and Buck and we'll come back to that. All right. If we have strong Bob called. Okay, strength we're going to say to this tight end over here. And you'll see how this stuff's like really simple. Let y'all catch up if you haven't already. Okay? Now, you look at it, and which B gap is open? Which B gap doesn't have somebody stunting through it? The one on the strong side. So which bat's got to be stunting here? Strong side. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He can't go, but somebody's in my B gap. I'm not going. You see what I'm saying? And they communicate. You, B. They're up there rolling, they're talking, telling each other, reminding each other who's going, stuff like that. And occasionally, when your kids get smart, they throw a dummy call out every now and then just to screw with the guys. Maybe they're not going and they're calling that, and that offensive line's looking for them. As they get smarter, they get gamey. They can kind of throw some little fake stunts out there. Okay? So that would be strong bob. And of course, weak bob, we know the back, the bat on the weak side would be going, okay? Oh yeah, and one other thing, they don't flip-flop these guys, they leave them, they leave them all. They are, he's always going to be on the left side, he's always going to be the right side. I forgot to mention that earlier on. They don't flip their bats and dogs. All right. Now, of course, if this had been strong buck, which one would have had to have gone? It had to be the weak side, because we've got C gap. Which C gap's open? You see what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really simple. It's nothing complicated. These two guys just got to know where these front three guys are going, and they got to know to communicate and make sure one another knows. And of course, they can play games and walk up there and walk out and stuff like that. That's what that's what they do. You may not feel comfortable with you guys doing that at first, but just as they get along, they can walk in and out, roam the crowd. All right, and then the bat stunt, which really isn't that complicated either, but I mean, this is simple too. Bat is going to be the backer in A. Okay, so which A gap is open? It's this one. So it's going to be this bat coming all the way from here, coming through that A stunt. And that's a great one right there if you catch it at the right time. Of course, like everything, they have the right call at the right time, and you're going to be screwed. But if you catch that at the right time, that guy's going to come slipping through, and nobody's even going to see him. Open and closed bat would work the same way. Open and closed buck and bob, strong, right and left, buck and bob, all that stuff works the same way. Yeah, on this, this strong is just what the example I used, but it's interchangeable with any of those line movements except, of course, crash. But it's interchangeable with open, closed, strong, weak, and right, left. Interchangeable with any of those. Okay? Interchangeable with y'all clear on that? Y'all want to see? Y'all need to see any of those? I mean, it's real simple, but I asked just to make sure. You know how it is. They always tell you always talk like your audience knows nothing. So I talk to you guys like I'm treating y'all stupid. It's just to make sure we're stupid. Just to make sure we're clear. Just to make sure we're clear.
Treat me like a 6-year-old.
All right, another 4-man stunt. And I tell you what, if I have your info when I leave, Coach, both of you, when I get home, if there's something I forgot, I'll get a hold of you and I'll mail it to you or somehow. Because I've still got all my notes at home from when I visited them, and they even gave me a packet. And if there's something in the packet that I didn't tell you guys, I'll get that to you as well. But I'm pretty sure I remember everything. But like I say, it's been a couple years since I ran defense, so I got to remember all this stuff. So, okay, just another 4-man stunt they use would be I don't know how you keep your, I guess you just tell you guys not to listen to it, but I don't know how you keep your guys from getting confused on this one, but this is what they call it. But they call it Mike Strong and Mike Weak, okay? But it's not like a strong and a weak slant. So these guys would still run their up stunt. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But I mean, they run it, and that's what they call it. So I don't know, but I don't know how. And I don't know if you guys will get confused. I guess that just be one time they ignore the strong and weak call, except of course for the nose guard. But of course, right there.
Okay, so now instead of regular nose automatically going.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to go. Yeah, he's going to go opposite of Mike. Mike's going strong. Nose is going weak. And if it's Mike weak, then the nose knows he's going to go strong, and the Mike's going weak.
So was this the only time that Mike would be the trigger for that opposite call?
Say again?
On this call right here, he's going opposite because it's Mike Strong.
Yeah.
Any other call would,
The nose would go strong, or other, well, unless there was like a weak or
right, this is
open
weak.
or something like that.
He's doing
Yeah,
opposite.
for the most part, he's always gonna go strong. There's one other stunt I can think of off the top of my head before we get into all this that I know that he'll go opposite of the call some too.
I was just looking for that buzzword.
That easy
The
thing.
only time you will.
Yeah,
do this
yeah,
is-
yeah. For the most part, you're right, the nose guard. The nose guard will go, just base stuff, he'll go strong pretty much all the time. And then, of course, you got an open call or a weak call or something like that. Then he'll go. But yeah, of course, I got it drawn up as Mike Strong. We call him the tight end strong side. And of course, Mike Weak, he's gonna go strong. He's gonna go weak, I mean, same stuff. Nothing different. Now, the other thing you can add to this right here, if you ever want to, would be Mike Strong crash. Mike Strong crash or Mike Weak crash. And so now those DNs are coming in right there. And so that would be Mike Strong crash now. Or actually, this would be Mike Weak Strong. I mean, Mike Weak crash, the way I drew it up, actually, my bad. It would be Mike Weak crash. Trying to think, make sure that's all the four-man. I believe it is. I believe that's all the four-man stuff. All right. So five-man stunts. Show you this one first because I can remember. I'm trying to remember what the name of the other one is because I call it something else. So I'm trying to think like crap. Okay, here we go. This one is called, it can be open or closed or strong. Once again, open, closed, strong, weak, right, left, whatever. This one could use any of those line movements. Okay? I'm going to show you, to begin with, I'll show you strong. And then I might show you a different one in a second. Now these are called, there's two different ones. Are we good, Coach? Okay.
Let's check.
These are going to be strong. The first one I'm going to show you is strong bang. But it's the brother to boom. Bang and boom are brothers, and you'll see why in just a second. Okay. Strong, of course, we're going to have a strong line movement. Bang tells us that the bat and the dog away from the line movement are going to be stunning. Okay? Bang tells us that this bat will be away from the line of scrimmage. Boom tells us he'll be on the line of scrimmage. Okay, so you can run the same stunt, but it's from two different alignments. On one of them, he's going to walk up and stunt. The other one, he's going to stay back. Okay?
Repeat that. Bang is the bat.
Bang
dog.
is, yeah. Bang is the bat and the dog away from the line movement. See, we got strong. If we had weak
Right.
bang going, they'd be slanting that way. These two guys would be going. And this would be a good stunt against. I see it being a good stunt against an option team if you know which side they're running to. Because you'll see what it is in a second. But you can have those three guys on 1, 2, and 3 in a hurry. But I'll show you that in just a second. Okay. bang, your dog's probably gonna get there quicker. And your bat's gonna get there later. And so you want them on those two different levels. Okay, you don't want them rushing in there, both of them going right side by side and everything. The first guy is here,
And who's
second
going?
guy's there.
Okay, so you want, I mean, you designate who's going first?
Yes, and the reason, well, they're both stunting, but it's just the dog on the line is gonna be a little closer, so you'll probably get there quicker. Now, if we're running, and I'll go ahead and draw it up down here. I'll draw a strong boom down here. And once again, remember it can be open, closed, right, left. You know, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is strong. This is strong boom down here. So we're going to have this once again, strong line movement going. Oops. Now the bat will walk up outside. Note taker. All right.
Teaching English for 20 years.
So now when you bat in that walked up alignment, now he's going to get there quicker. So he's going to be on the first level, he's going to be on the second level. Okay? And one of the examples they showed was like they showed we saw some of their film, and they showed a situation where they had this call and it was on a pass play. And they had a running back stepping over, and that running back's left trying to block two guys. If they both go on the same level, he blocks one and the other one gets jammed up with him. But they go on a different level. One goes underneath the fullback, one goes over the top of the fullback. He's got to make a decision. Who am I blocking? So at least one of them comes clean and gets a hit on the quarterback. So that's what we're talking about. Same thing if we had a triple option going here. In this case here, your end would probably be stunting in to take the fullback. Your bat would be stunting there to take the quarterback, and that dog would be up on the pitch man. You got 1, 2, and 3 on them in a hurry. And it's just the opposite up here. Dogs on 1, bats on 3. Okay, that's what we're talking about the levels. And way you don't end up wasting a man having two guys in the same area. Okay? And I'll show it to you weak, although you can imagine what it looks like, but I'll go ahead and show you to that tight inside.
It's gonna be boom again?
Yeah, I'm just going to show you the weak side. Like I said, I'm sure you guys can envision it, but just so you can see that tight inside.
Okay.
Now, and I wondered, and I didn't even think to ask, and I should have. I wonder how, even though to the closed side, this dog's still got to be coming outside, and this bat's still got to be coming inside. How this guy would still be on the first level, and this guy would be on the second level. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, and I didn't even think to ask him until later. So I can't. So if you have that question too, I'm sorry I can't answer that one for you. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's on the open side. It's no big deal because there's no really, there's no difference between C gap and D gap. But here you got a different story. So you might not even like running bang to this side because, this is bang by the way because he's away. But you may not even like running bang to the open side. Then again, you may. I mean, I don't think it'd be a bad thing. I just wonder how they'd get those levels down like that. But then of course, if you're running weak boom, now we're weak boom, then that's no big deal because we're walking up right here in C gap, setting these 3 guys, and now he can easily get on that first level. So that's not a big deal at all when you run your weak boom. And so that's Bang and Boom. Any questions? And most of the stuff's really simple. I already know one thing I'm gonna have to let you guys know later, and that is the name of this next stunt. Because I can't remember. I know they called it Zoo, they called one of them Zoo, and they called it something else. But I can't remember if Zoo was the 5-man stunt or the 6-man stunt. So I'm gonna show you the 5-man, and just, you know, you can put a question mark by it, and I'll, you know, if y'all give me an email or something, I'll email you and let you know what the name of the stunts were. But here's another 5-man. Like I said, I called it something else is the reason why I can't remember what it is.
What do you call it?
Well, what I called it would totally screw it up because, you see, they call it strong and weak bang, they call it strong and weak bob and all that stuff. I called this stunt bob because for me, it was backers out. These guys are going in and these guys are going out. And then I call the opposite of that bib because the backers are going inside. So I mean, it throws it off a little bit. So I can't remember for sure what they called it. But that was the 5-man stunt. You have, of course, nose once again going strong. But you have, you know, backers in C gap, ends going through B.
So this is what now? That's just bob?
I can't remember what they called it. That's what I'm saying. I called it bob, but you wouldn't be able to call it that because of strong, weak bob and all that stuff. So I'll have to let you guys know for sure what to call this one. Okay. Because I think Zoo is when they brought all 6 of them actually, and I'll show you that in a second. But so you got that, and then of course flip it over and you go the other way. You go the opposite. Backers going in. This guy's out. This guy's in. Okay. And then I can remember, and I'll show you, and I'll talk to you about it again. I'll remind you again there when I go over 6-man stunts. But I know they call, and like I said, it's all running together in my head on this one because I called it something else. But they would go Zoo and Zoo switch is what they would call it. So in other words, Zoo was, I think, was the backers going out, and of course the Mike linebacker going too, and then Zoo switch was, you know, Mike still went, but these guys just flipped it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But I'll email it and let you guys know for sure what it is on that. I'll let y'all know, but y'all, whatever y'all want to call it for right now, and then I'll tell you later, because that was 5-man. I've got one other 5-man, so, sorry. I was just telling you that. I got one other 5-man, and I remember the name of this one, so I didn't have to change this one, so. Sorry for screwing you up.
Oh, no.
If I'd known I'd been talking about this stuff, I'd have brought this stuff. Let's see, okay, this is the last 6-man stunt. Last 5-man stunt that I'll show you. And this one is just double dog crash. Double dog crash. Okay, you can probably figure out what it is. What's the defensive line doing, Coach? Crash. So I mean that's nothing. You know, we telling them what to do once again. We're telling them crash. And then of course double dog means we're bringing these 2 outside dogs on the outside. So once again, just really simple.
Coverage-wise.
I was going to go into that at the end.
Oh, okay.
If you want, you know.
Nah, go. Let's go.
Okay.
Go on over.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go back. Figured it'd be easier to just run through the stunts and then go back until you covered. Now I'll tell you, the Georgia military, they got the horses, and they're mad about it all the time. I mean, just constantly. But you can run. But yeah, and I'll show you the zone and stuff like that, kind of what I've done and what I picked up from other people. Some of the stuff, the ideas and stuff I also got from MTSU when they were running 3-3 at one time, and then they've changed since changed to 4-3. But everything I'm showing you, both of them did pretty much the same stuff. It's just Georgia military ran a lot more man than Middle did. Okay, 6-man stunts. Trying to remember. 6-man. I think 6-man was only the zoo and zoo switch. I believe was the only one thing they had there. Y'all remember what zoo? No. I can't remember which one's zoo and which one's zoo switch, but like I say, I'll let y'all know that later on. That should really bring up 6 and 7. That's like I say, that's the one I was telling you about a minute ago. I'll straighten the names out later. And that's the only, unless I'm forgetting one, that's the only 6-man stunts. And then they had, they got one 7-man, which is called, they call it Crash Special. It might not be anything you ever want to run, and then LMAB, so I'll show it to you. I guess it'd just be a special situation. But Crash Special, of course, your D-line's crashing. Oh shucks, I remember a couple more 5-man stunts I'll show you. Sorry about that, it's all coming back to me. Well, not all of it, but. Now backers and dogs are going. This right here is Crash Special.
7-man?
Yeah, and that's a 7-man stunt. Crash Special, we got him, spell special. Thank you, my hell, I ain't running up here. Can't remember how to spell special.
That's the house.
Yeah, everybody but the Maya. Everybody but the Maya. So that's definitely a special situation that you would run that. Don't know if I can think of one right off, but you
When
can
nothing else works, you run special.
if you can come up with the right situation, guys, you just run it right
When
in.
you're getting blown off the ball, just reach for something.
And if it costs you the state championship, sorry about that, guys.
We get there.
Yeah.
Hey,
You get there, you might be happy. Yeah.
then Jenkins, it would be mad. I'd be mad.
I'll show you this other 5-man stunt. And I like this one. I don't remember what they called it, so I'll just tell you what I called it because it won't conflict with anything else that you've done. And that's what I'm trying not to give you my names and stuff if it conflicts. And I like this one right here because I think it's one that can really, you hit it at the right time, especially it can be a good stunt for you. Both of them. I'll draw one here and I'll draw one down here. It's another 5-man. And then it should be all the stunts, and we'll go over cover if you want to. Okay. This one is called up here. I'm going to show you Storm. All right. Let's go again. storm, and I'm gonna show you wind down here. As you can probably already figure, storm's gonna be strong, wind is gonna be weak, okay? Your ends will go ahead and run their face up stunt, okay? So we'll go ahead and get those suckers out of the way. This is another situation when your nose will go, could go away from the call, okay? On storm, we're sending the strong side bat and mic through B and A. So now the nose will go weak A. So of course on wind, just the opposite. Now nose will go strong, mic will go weak A. The weak side bat will go weak B. And that's wind. Okay? And again, as you can see, the thing I like about it is this nose goes with that, center goes with the nose, tackle goes with that end, and that guard's left trying to decide who he's going to block. Good coach? Okay. I'll tell you one coaching point right quick that I remember that him telling on Mike Strong and Mike Weak. A lot of times he said he'll have his linebackers or his backs walk up outside of the defensive end when defensive ends get like they're coming to try and get those guards and tackles looking out. And of course, they run that little mic stunt inside. Just have playing games with them sometimes. Walking up now and then. Of course, it's one of those things as your guys get better and as you get comfortable with moving, because sometimes they'll move and get themselves out of position if they ain't careful. They'll do you more harm than good.
Hey, Coach. I thought you were at the movie.
I was.
What were they watching?
Miracle.
They watched Miracle last night.
Is that what they were going to watch?
They're watching, the new one with, what's his name? The wrestling dude, what's his name?
The Rock?
Yeah, the last one he came out with.
Walking Tall?
No, it was.
Recording now?
And there's some other fronts too I can go over to you if you want to go over those too. They just, got little fronts they jump in. I mean, there's a little more than what I've shown you, but not a whole heck of a lot more. Just against this, of course, just against this base. Wherever you feel comfortable lining them up at, corners and stuff like that, whatever you want to do.
It should be pretty athletic. Let it come in and snare it.
Yeah. Just wherever you feel comfortable lining them up. I mean, because I don't remember them saying anything particular, and
But they were manned.
everybody's got their own style. Yeah, exactly. They were manned most of the time. And so what they do and what you might do might be two different things. But I'm just going to show you just against the base pro front, and we kind of talk about some adjustments in a minute if you want to, and I'll tell you as best I know. Anyway, of course, the good thing is on just a base look, you just want to go cover 3, and then you've got, shucks, you got 5 guys underneath, man. You can cover everything. You got 8 guys in cover. You talk about screwing up a quarterback. You drop 8 guys back there and let them try to find a hole in that stuff. Of course, now like Coach Tracy, who was the other day, said, as soon as you get in cover 3, you get a team that spreads it out there, they got 4 verticals is coming, so you may as well be ready for it. So of course that's just cover 3, that's how I do it. And then what you do is, Coach, and here's the reason why I do that, because I know you know what that cover 3 is, but then your guys just adjust if you stunt. If you had Mike stunning on this play, then nobody really has to change. I mean, this guy's still, toward the flat, this guy's still in that little hook curl zone, whatever you want to call it. This guy's still in that hook curl zone, whatever you want to call it right there. He's still flat. Okay, now, if this bat here was going, you can't have Mike just drop right back, because then you got this huge hole here. So Mike has to adjust his drop, and he drops this way to fill in that hook zone. You see what I'm saying? And everybody just goes that way. And if you ran like say a two-man stunt where these two guys are going, then you can just tell this guy to adjust. He just cuts it the best he can, and he adjusts his drop and just falls in the middle. I mean, you leave it two holes, but you just have him split the difference and let him.
And you bring it.
You bring them, and you know, they have the right, like we talked about before, they have the right play call at the right time, you know, they're gonna get you probably anyway. So it wouldn't matter. But that, that's just if you just wanted to stay zone behind it, there are ways to do it. I mean, it's not impossible. Some situations, it's not ideal because you only got 3 guys underneath, but
Coverage-wise, cover 1, you just go to progression, corners got 1, dogs 2.
that's it.
Bats 3.
That's it, because ideally you're looking for a strong safety type guy out here, strong safety, or even if you got some corners that like to hit, good tacklers, they'd be perfect right there, because then you talk about going man, you can lock up man, and you got a hitter right there too for a tackle situation. So yeah, I mean, that's exactly right, Coach. And then now when we're talking about certain stunts, that's when your coverage changes. So I'm just going to run you through a couple of zones they do, and then I'll start kind of telling you the man and how they do that and how it can work along with some of the stunts. Okay. So now I'll show you one other cover 3. If you've got a team that likes to run a lot of that quick stuff, and they get used to seeing you in that cover 3, where this guy's bailing out, and he can beat this guy on that hits before he gets out there or whatever. Of course, however you want to do it. But one other thing they do, they run a 3 strong, and they just roll everything strong. So this corner would now stay up in the flat. He'd get over the top. He's still got his deep third, and you need a dog right there that can flip his hips and run to the middle third. And he can get there if you got an athlete there. And of course, then everybody else does the same thing. And of course, he's going to break his drop off here. He's going to be there, all that stuff. Of course, if you're sending one, it all changes anyway. But, that's 3 strong, just to roll it toward those quick guys. Nothing complicated. Just something they said they really hadn't done much. It was just something new they were doing, just trying to throw another look in. Because, they're just freaking man like crazy. Okay, I'll show you some of the man stuff you were talking about. Most times it's going to be, cover 1. If you've got, let me put another guy out here. If you just got cover 1, and like you said, he's on 1, he's on 2, he's on 1, he's on 2. Then you can play some games in here. You got 3 guys, left cover in the back. So you can send, up to 5 guys and still be covered on, your man coverage, and still have one free over the top. So you're fine there. You can send 6 and let the free safety replace 1. If